Hello world, welcome to video 215 on my channel where I'm building my own digital assistant named Shane, like Jarvis from the Iron Man movies and comics. I apologize for the delay in videos, but this project took me a little longer than I anticipated, especially since I had to wait for the delivery of these parts and supplies. And so this is my second time creating this introduction video. The first one got corrupted, I'm not sure what happened. So you'll see in today's video we'll be installing LED strips. As you can see, they're already installed, but that's because I had to take this picture after to do this introduction again. And so the first step of creating this LED strip around your garage or whatever you're trying to do, a window or something, is you need to measure it. And so what we're going to do is first we're going to look at this vertical one right here. So I measured it and it is 7 feet even. And then this horizontal part right here, that is 17 foot 7 inches. And then the other vertical part, which thank goodness is also 7 inches. So it's perfectly square despite the picture being semi-crooked. And so I ran into some problems up here, and we'll go through that as we get to the video. And so now that we've measured our garage, now we know what to look for on the Holiday Decor website. So let's go there now and order some parts. Okay, so now that we've measured our garage and we have the two vertical stands and then the horizontal stand, so now we know what to buy. And so we're just going to buy the strips and the holders in this video, and so we're not going to go over the controller. And if you want to see the controller I bought, you can watch this video here. And so I made a Christmas show last year, and I'm just going to keep adding onto it for Halloween and 4th of July and Christmas. And so we're going to go to this RGB lights, bulbs, and strip and ribbon on the Holiday Decor site. And we're going to go to strip, tape, ribbon rolls. Now I bought the 12 volt kind, so you can come here to 12 volts. And then you're going to see different kinds here. And so we're going to see one that's 6 foot 6 inches, right? So that's going to go on the two vertical sides. So we need two of these. And that is, the vertical sides are 7 feet. So this will be 6 foot 6 inches, leaving about 6 inches at the bottom, which I'm hoping will look okay because it'll have the connectors. This is only, or not this one right here. So this one right here is 16 foot 6 inches, but don't order this one if it's going to be in the middle. And the reason why is because it only has a plug-in here and not another plug-in. And the reason why I know not to make this mistake is because I made that mistake myself. So I have one of these, but so we're going to order two of these and then one of these, because the horizontal part of my garage was 17 foot 10 inches. Now again, these ones are not the ones you want, right? It only has the one connector. You want this one right here, 16 foot 6 inches. And so my garage is 17 foot 10 inches, so I'm a little concerned that it's not going to go all the way, but we can address that later. So this one right here, see how it has both connectors right here. Alright, and so we're going to order that. So we have two of these, one of these, and now we are going to come here to do-it-yourself cables mounting. And let's go to now on that same page. So we're still in the strip tape ribbon rolls. You're going to look at this right here, the pixel strip mounting hardware base and diffuser cover. So click on that. Now you have to order these in minimum order of 10, which is fine. That works for us. And what it does, it is this hardware. This part connects to your house, and this is a diffuser. So like I was talking about, we're going to put ours on the outside for our show, but if you wanted just ambient lights, you would have the LEDs or the bulbs facing inward. right? Or down if it's on the if it's on your roof line. But we want it out, right? Because we're doing a show. And so it's going to come with these clips right here that allow for the mounting hardware to go through. And this is what the diffuser looks like. And this is what the holders look like. And that's what it looks like here, right? So you have the strip inside here and the diffuser above it. And that's what it looks like. So I ordered 10 of those. And that's it. And then you wait until your products arrive. All right, so we got the stuff in. So this first one is the 6 foot 6 inches, the 7 foot cable. This is the long 16 foot 6 inch cable. And this is the second of the 6 foot 6 inches. And it connects like that, right there. And then here are the connectors right here. You see how it looks. It's kind of like a flimsy metal. And the diffusers, which we won't be using, are right here. This is if you want to put it on the inside of your house or on the outside, just for ambient. And that's it. So now let's connect it to our controller and do some testing. All right, so you should already know the IP address if you're this far, but if for some reason you just came to my video, if you open up your HinksPix controller on the LED, you'll see an IP address, and that is the IP address of your controller if it's hooked up to the router. Again, recommend watching the step-by-step of all the videos in this series by clicking on the playlist here. And that way you know what I'm doing. So let's go to the controller real quick and we can set up the LEDs in here first. Okay, so you go to port config 33 through 48 local SPI expansion ports. Go ahead and click that. Alright, so this was my floodlights right here. This was the snowflake. And now this third one right here, if you don't have anything here, or if you're putting it here, it'll look like these, where it'll say 100 pixel count. And these are the controller start channels and end channels. So if you're following along in my playlist, I'm on port 35. And then you're just going to change 100 to 90 if you have the same configuration as me. So the 6 foot 6 inches, if you only bought one of those, that's 20 pixels, but there's 60 LEDs because this counts it by 3, right? So when you plug this in, it moves by 3. So 3 LEDs is 1 pixel, and that's just how these work. So I have 20, right? I have 120 pixel count, another 20 pixel count. This is for the 6 foot 6 inches ones. And then the 16 foot 6 inches is 50 pixels. So that's 90 altogether, right? So 20, 50, 20, that's 90. And then 90 times 3, that's 270 pixels. And this will automatically count for you the pixels. So you go ahead and press 90 here. And then you're going to press save change this page. And when you do, this will turn blue, and you come up here to reset. And then go ahead and click reset, and it'll say the changes in effect will take 30 seconds to have communications with your controller. And then once that 30 seconds is done and this is back to normal, we're going to go to test outputs 33 through 48. Now, if you have yours on port 33 or 34 or whatever port you choose on your SPI extension board, go ahead and click that one. Like I said, mine is on port 35. So let's click that on. So port 35 on, and let's do blinking red. All right, so we are in my son's room actually, and we have our HinksPix controller. connected to our router. And I apologize if you hear purring. That is my cat Cinnamon. She doesn't like when I record YouTube videos. And so right now I have this plugged in, and we just pressed the test config test port. We are on port 35, if you can see that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to connect the 6 foot by 6 inch strip in first, so we can see how that works. All right, so now I'm going to plug in, that is my cat Ivy, excuse me. And now we're going to plug this in. There we go. So all the way to the end, it is blinking red. My cat loves this is Ivy. My cat loves the LED strips. All right, so let me show you something now that I found out that's kind of weird, and I don't have time to really troubleshoot it for now. But like I said earlier in the video, I bought a 16 foot by 6 inch LED strip that does not have an extension at the end, right? So as you can see, it terminates right here, right? So you can't add in another strip. So let's plug this in to the end of our 6 foot thing right here. All right, so now we have the 16 foot connection here. And as you can see, the whole thing lights up, right? And so it actually terminates at the end, right? So this is the end of the strip, but as I showed you in the drawing, I was hoping for and you'll see on xLights where we go next, is I want one 6 foot cable connected to the 16 foot next, and then another 6 foot. So that's why I needed one that has a connection. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect the 16 foot one right here and put the one that we just bought and connect that one. And what I noticed is that there's a difference in the cables, and I can't find one that will fix what I'm trying to do. So now we have another 16 foot by 6 feet LED strip combined, but when we get to the end of this one, where we would connect the next 6 foot strip, as you can see, it stops right here. Hopefully you can see that, but there are 3 LEDs not blinking, right? And so I can't connect another 6 foot to this because there's no more power, right? I would have to inject power to this. And let me show you what I found. So the difference in LED strips, in these 2 LED strips, is one, look at the spacing between the LEDs. Can you see that? Let me put it on the ground. So let me show you what I found. So as you can see from the LED strip is that the actual LEDs in the one that has a connector at the end, you see how closely they are? See how many LEDs compared to the one that terminates, where it has one LED roughly every 2 to 1 ratio. And because there are so many LEDs in this connecting strip, we're unable to connect another 6 foot cable to this. So I have this other 16 foot by 6 inch, and it has far less LEDs, but it terminates at the end. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to solder this connector onto this cable. I haven't soldered in a decade, so I apologize, but I'm not going to do it on the video. So I'm going to try that for the next couple hours, and I'll come back. Alright, so the welding or the soldering is done, and despite one of the worst welds, you can't really see it in this, it is a horrible welding job, which is funny because I've been to, or a soldering job. I've been through advanced soldering too, which is funny. But as you can see, this is the 16 foot by 6 inches with less LEDs, and this is the 6 foot 6 inch. And so now they match. I'm pretty excited about that, despite the horrible soldering job. But now I'm going to try to get the other 6 foot 6 inch and see if I could have just all of this on one. That's ivy. All of this on one, and that's cinnamon, on one strand. So a 6 foot by 6 inch, a 16 foot by 6 inch, and then another 6 foot by 6 inch. So let me try that, and then I'll show you if it worked. All right, so it worked. So I have one 6 foot 6 inch here, and then it connects to the 16 foot by 6 inch here. And then thanks to my horrible soldering job here, we can now connect the other 6 foot by 6 inches. So what this allows me to do is keep it on only one port, and then I can just do one Polyline in xLights and control them as one module in xLights, which will be advantageous, especially as my projects get bigger. I definitely want to save the ports on my HinksPix Pro. So now we got that finally set up, I'm going to reinstall everything outside, and then we'll go into xLights and check it out, how we establish the Polyline and how we can control it. Okay, so here are the holders right here for the LED strip. So I need 2 of them for the 6 foot 6 inch strips. And so it also comes with these mounting brackets like this. And so you're gonna screw these into the wall, and then you just go at an angle like this, and then clip the other one in. And that's pretty much it. I happen to have these kind of screws right here. These are wood screws, and they're totally flat at the top. It doesn't work exactly because I don't know if you can see in the GoPro, but it has a little lip to it. I think if you really wanted this to be flush and without using double-sided tape, you'd get a head that doesn't have that lip, right? That it was just totally flat, so it sinks in flush to the LED strip holder right here. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll show you what it looks like next. Alright, so this is what the completed installation looks like. My paint is chipping off. I don't know why. I hope the wood isn't chipping, but connected it to the top there, and then all the way down. I only added 2 brackets, one at the top and one at the bottom. I think I'm gonna add maybe after Halloween, but before Christmas. I think I'm gonna add one in the middle because it does pull from the side a little bit. I don't know if I like that too much. So, but for now, we'll just do 2. And now we're going to put some double-sided sticky tape on our LED strip. Alright, so I finally reinstalled all of the LED lights. And so here is my horrible soldering job that I did. So I'm not a big fan of how big the connectors are, you know, while you're trying to install it onto your garage. And so here is the horizontal part of the garage here. So I'm gonna have a big empty space here because that's where I took a chunk out to solder. I'm going to try to buy another 6 foot and then solder the rest of this way in. This has a huge connection up here, and I had to tie strap the extra cable, so I don't like that. So maybe I'll trim this down as well and solder that. And so now that we got that connected up, I have the Hinks Pro controller in my garage. I don't know if you can see it without the light. But I have it connected outside, and I'm going to open up xLights and test it out and make sure it works, and see how it looks with the new spacing of the larger LEDs. Okay, so now that we've did our horrible soldering connections and stuff, now we have one continuous string of LED strips. So the 6 foot 6 inch, the modified 16 foot by 6 inch, and the 6 foot by 6 inch. So now we're going to add that into our xLights. And so this is the original layout I had. This was the 3 flood lamps and a snowflake that I had. And so to add a continuous strip like how we're going to do, we're going to use the Polyline. So create new Polyline. And I wish these were all grayed out and only the one you selected was highlighted. But anyways, so click create new Polyline and see it grays out. Click once somewhere. And now you could see that you have this draggy thing. So go ahead and outline whatever you're trying to make. So let's do that one first. And then, well, that was not good. So let's press escape. Let's delete that. Okay, so create the polyline. Click here. Come up. Click again. Right there. Click again. And then you click again. And then this is kind of tricky. So don't do anything, but see how it's moving freely. Press your escape button. Don't click anywhere else. Click escape. There you go. Now we have a polyline up here. So come down here. How many nodes total? Go ahead and, so for me, I have 20 on this one. 45 on this one. Usually would have 50, but I had to solder out 5 of them, so I have 20, 45, and 20. So that is 85, which it kind of doesn't matter about why I typed that in there, and I'll show you a second. Lights per node 1, strings 1, and then click this individual segments. So click here, and it's going to figure out how much, by what you clicked on, how big it is, by how many nodes. But we actually have 20 here, and then come down and press 45 here and 20 here. And now you'll see when we get into the sequencer how valuable it is to do the segments. Alright, and then come down here, controller. Go ahead and whatever controller you're using, but I'm using Hinks Pro. Scroll down to the port. We're going to use port 36. And that's it, and then press save. And now you have your polyline set up. Now we have this one on 33 and the snowflake on 34. And so we actually should have put this on 35, but it kind of doesn't matter. So now when you go to sequencer, let's do file, new sequence, animation, 20 frames per second. We'll leave it on 30 seconds for now. Done. Okay, so this is the snowflake that we had. This was the flood lamps that we had, the 3 strands, if you will. And now this is our new polyline. So now we have strand 1, strand 2, strand 3, and when we expand strand 1, you can see we have the 20 nodes. Close that. Now we have the 45 nodes. Close that, and as you can guess, we have 20. And now you can go to town. So that's you can drag some colors into the whole thing like this to the polyline. There you go. See, the whole thing is white on my layout. Or you could just do one strand up here. Or I just did it on one node. See that little dot right there? But if you wanted to put it on the whole strand, you just drag that like that. There we go. And now just this is lit up. So now that we've done that, let's go outside and see what it looks like. And here is the final look to it. This is the green color, of course. As you can see, there's quite a bit of trunk missing out of the left. I do have 2 sconces and this light in my doorway right here. Those are LED. You know, you can control it by your phone. I don't have those connected to my HinksPix Pro, of course. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So now I just need to get some additional LEDs, solder them into here, and then, you know, might have to solder them into there as well. And so I'm using 12 volt if you've been following along. And so I imagine that if I add too many LEDs, I might have to do some power injection, but that will be a future video. So thanks for watching. Right now I have it connected directly to xLights, and so just in case you're wondering how I'm doing this. So if you want to see how to program an actual sequence, upload it on an SD card so you don't have to have your HinksPix Pro in your garage connected to a stretched out LAN cable, then you should watch this video here. But for now, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, and goodbye world.